Okay, so today I wanted to talk about some things that I've done to my trailer and some adjustments I've made to my process to make sure that we're like ready to roll anytime. My family and I, when we travel, we don't like to stay places for long periods of time. Kind of 3 nights is our limit. So what that means is we really want to reduce the hassle of hooking up and departing or getting ready to leave each time we leave. So I'm going to show you 5 or 6 things that we've done to make sure that it's easy to get up and go with the trailer. And here goes. The first 3 things I want to talk about are modifications that I made or additions that I made to make sure we wouldn't have a big regret having left too fast. Meaning we didn't want to leave quickly and then damage the trailer because we thought we missed something or because we forgot about something while we were packing up and getting ready to go. So there are a few places in the system where if you forget something, something bad will really happen. So for example, if you forget to lift up your stairs and you hit something with your stairs, that's bad. It's going to bend the stairs, break the stairs, maybe even bend the frame of your trailer. So along those lines, number one was vent covers, right? On our trailer, we have these pop-up vents like most people have, where you turn on the fan and then the lid opens, and it's great for evacuating the trailer or bringing fresh air into the trailer. The problem is that if you drive with those lids open, the wind will catch them and snap them right off. And now you have an empty hole in the top of your trailer. You got to replace that part, and you got to deal with rain or bugs or anything while you're waiting for that repair. So to me, the addition of vent covers, fan vent covers, was one of the first things that I did. We have 2 vents on our trailer, 2 fans, and I think each one of the covers was something around $40 or $50 and took a few minutes to install. So with those covers in place, we get a few benefits. The first real benefit is what I just mentioned, right? You have no chance of the vent covers breaking during transfer. Because of those extra covers, because of that extra protection, you can just get up and go and you don't have to worry about whether you left things open or not. The second big benefit is that you can, if you choose, leave your vents open while you move the trailer. So I know that for us, on hot days, we will often leave those vents open to allow the moving air to sort of pull hot air out of the trailer, and we get really good results with that. Oftentimes I will leave the front vent open and I'll leave the rearward vent open with the fan on, so it will pull air through the trailer, keeps things nice and cool. The third major benefit, and this may or may not apply for you, but your trailer might be outfitted with rain sensing covers on these vents. And I don't know about you, but mine don't always work, right? And the controls for those fans can be very difficult to operate, and the rain sensor consumes power to have it on. So by adding these external vent covers, I eliminate my reliance on that rain sensor, and I can power down those fans to really conserve power when I have the trailer in storage or if I'm boondocking or something like that. So that's 3 big benefits to those extra fan covers, those outside vent covers, and I think they're really worth it for $40 or $50 a pop and a few minutes of installation. So that's the first big modification we made. So the second major thing is that when you're going to be rolling, especially if you're moving a lot, you're going in and out of campgrounds a lot, you're going across varied road surfaces a lot, you really got to take care of your tires. And as we all know, under pressure tires are the biggest cause of a blowout. So you want to make sure the pressure in your tires is at the correct level all the time. If you're going from cold climates to hot climates, etc., or vice versa, you also have to take care that the temperature doesn't affect the pressure in your tires too much. My trailer manufacturer recommends that you check those tires every time you move. And I don't know about you, but I'm really lazy, and the reality is I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to check those tires with a tire gauge every time I move. So that's a really strong argument. It's one of the strong arguments for tire pressure sensors or tire pressure monitoring system. We use the Ease tire pressure monitoring system. It just has little caps that screw onto the valve stems of your tires, and you do want to use metal valve stems. And then it has a little sensor that you put in the cab of your vehicle, and wirelessly it communicates with the tire monitors, and it tells you what the current temperature is and what the current pressure is of those tires. The setup for this is very easy, very easy. Takes a few minutes. It's a couple $100 for these sensors, which is not cheap, but you get a lot of benefits. So let me tell you what those benefits are. First, of course, when you're going down the road, if you have a tire event, a blowout, a slow leak, something like that, the tire monitor is going to alert you to that. And that's really important because a blowout of a tire can cause a lot of damage. It can be dangerous for driving your rig, and it can be dangerous for other drivers on the road if you lose control or if pieces of your tire fly out. But I think the bigger benefit, the longer term benefit, the thing that makes the tire pressure monitor pay off as an expense is I don't have to check the tires every day, right? When we get up and we get ready to go, we get in the truck and we start towing and we turn on that tire monitor and we know within 30 seconds what the tire pressures are, that they're good, that there haven't been any leaks, etc., etc., etc. So it's just a lot simpler process than trying to trick myself into thinking that I'm going to check the tires every morning before we roll out. Tire pressure monitors are really an essential piece of the puzzle if you want to move your trailer really frequently. Because let's face it, I'm too lazy, most of us are too lazy to check those tires every single day. And the tire monitor does it for you. The third major modification that we made, or the major addition we made to avoid its damage or loss, if you will, from our sort of frequent movement RVing style, is we added propane tank monitors. So I added monitors from Mopeka, M-O-P-E-K-A. They seem to be really the only game in town, but luckily their product does a really great job. So what it is there are two little Bluetooth dongles or little Bluetooth modules that stick magnetically to the bottom of your propane tanks, and then they send a signal up through the propane tank and they can sense how much fluid is left in the tank. So the reason why monitoring your propane is essential is not just because you don't want to be left without your ability to grill or use the stove or something like that. It's the refrigerator. Our fridge is packed with a couple $100s of food. I bet yours is too. The freezer too. We've got stuff in the freezer that we don't want to go bad, that we're going to use at some later date. So we really don't want that fridge to go down, and that means we have to have propane. By using the Mopeka propane monitor kit, it makes sure that I always have propane enough to run the fridge, and it'll even send alerts to my phone and really warns me in advance if I'm running low. Once I hit about 20%, it says, whoa there, you're going to need propane. So it may seem like a convenience item, a propane monitor. Oh, I don't want to have to check the tanks. But really, it's a little bit of an insurance policy. I don't want to have to lose hundreds of dollars worth of food that are in my fridge because I ran out of propane for an afternoon on a hot day. So there's a few other things I want to mention that really help us be ready to roll, help us just unplug and go. And they're pretty simple things. The first is we have a 110 or 120 volt, 15 amp, if you will, regular household plug dongle for the side of the trailer. And what that means is that I don't have to use my main trailer electrical cord to plug in when I'm at my house, right? When my trailer is parked in my driveway and it's just waiting for the next trip, I can just use a regular household plug to plug it in. That runs all the outlets. It keeps the refrigerator running. I can even run the air conditioner and the microwave off mine, though your mileage may vary depending on your wiring and how far you have to run an extension cord. But the idea there is that because I'm just using that household cord, I can keep my main electrical cord for the trailer packed up and put away, ready to roll, right? And also because I'm using just a regular household extension cord and like a $10 dongle or a $5 dongle if you get a good deal on it, I can just unplug that and leave it behind and just get going, right? So this is just one little thing that makes it so that I don't have to disconnect, I don't have to put things away, I don't have to open and close cabinets. I can just unplug that wire and go. And that's part of being ready to roll. Another major thing that I did to make sure that we were ready to roll is I dealt with the stuff inside the cab of the truck. So, I have a pickup truck, a lot of us do, and I've got a rear camera on my trailer, I've got my tire pressure monitor, and I have my phone that I'm using when I'm driving for GPS and for other little things. I can use Siri to send text messages or things like that. So that phone, that rear view camera, and that tire pressure monitor are essential pieces of gear that have to be in place for me to be ready to roll. So rather than having temporary mounts or suction cup mounts or anything that I have to put together when I'm gonna leave, what I do is at the beginning of the season, I mount all of that stuff so that it's always there all season long. It's not really in the way. I don't want to mount it to the windshield because that's illegal in a lot of states to have things stuck to your window. But I found these great mounts from Archon. This company, Archon Mounts, they make every possible variety that you could possibly want, and you can find the one that fits your truck specifically, or your specific situation. And you can mount to the dashboard or the vents, or suction mount, or screw mount, whatever you want. In my truck, I have an F-150. I also used a mounting bar for the center tray made by Built Right Industries. It's a very specialized product. It's very nicely made, a little overpriced if you ask me, but it does exactly what I wanted, and it's a nice, neat, clean installation. So having my phone, having my rear view camera, and having my tire pressure monitor already set, ready to go in the truck is one less thing I have to worry about when we're just about to pull out of the driveway. One less thing I have to think about falling off while we're driving. And that's an important tip. It's also important to mount these things securely, because I know I used to have like a CD mount and a suction mount and a vent mount for these items. And when we would go over bumps, some of that stuff would come falling off the dashboard, right? Just at the moment when I was most concerned about taking care of the trailer. Did I shake the trailer too much? Am I porpoising? Am I going to stop okay? Do I have something else to worry about? That was the moment when the GPS was like falling off the window, or the tire pressure monitor was, rattling around on the floor around me. That's not good, right? So having these things permanently mounted is not only a convenience and not only speeds departure, but it's a little better for safety as well. It keeps your attention on the road. So the last thing I want to mention is something that's not a product, right? It's not a mount you have to buy for your car. It's not a pressure monitoring system. It's not a tank monitoring system. It's not a dongle to plug in your trailer. It's a practice, right? And that practice is not storing anything permanently in a place where it's going to move around during travel. So our kitchen counter, when we depart, is empty of things. We don't have to worry about things sliding around during travel. Same is true with our dining room. Same is true of the bathroom. And the trick to achieving that sort of like clean desk, clean counter idea is not having a lot of stuff on there in the first place. I remember when I first bought my trailer, I even bought fake plants and vases and things to put around to make it homey. I was always moving that stuff, always trying to get it out of the way. It was always falling while we traveled. Now instead, whatever I can, I mount to the wall, right? So that it is there for travel, and it's also there when we're parked. And anything that I can put up where it's needed, right where it's needed, but have it be permanently attached to the trailer, I try to do that. So that is, plates and napkins are stored over the dinette in holders, right? Fans that we've put in place around the trailer. We don't use clip-on fans or tabletop fans. They're mounted to the trailer themselves. In the bathroom, the soap dispenser is mounted to the wall, as is like a cup for holding toothpaste and other bathroom products. In the shower, all the shower soap and shampoo and conditioner and all that stuff, that's mounted to the wall. We even have a couple command products that I really like, these cups and these sort of trays. I use one by the door to store headlamps and bug spray and a little bit of sunscreen, and I use another one near the dinette to store pencils and some post-it notes and other little note-taking stuff. And all of that stuff is right where we need it, but it's not on a surface. It doesn't have to be put away for travel. And I think that practice is really essential. It might be the most important thing of all. So when we're staying someplace overnight, we just get up and go. So I hope that's helpful to everybody. We're, I think, a little different in that we don't like to stay places for more than a day or two, or maybe 3 at the most. But you may find this useful even if that isn't your pattern, even if that isn't your way of camping. So there you go. There's a few ideas for you, and I hope that helps.